I see Mr. Keshe is in the participants list. If he'd like to come in, we all welcome you.
Thank you very much. I just come as a listener. I was here from the beginning. I had to go out for a few minutes and come back in. I'm like you. I'm listening.
That's fine.
I would say thank you, Mr. Keshe, allowing us to share your field with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We enjoyed you being there. It's people come and they don't want to leave. We've seen that in past 3 weeks. People come for a half an hour and they stay whole day till we say we have to go. It's a home. It's a peaceful place. As I said before, it's a home of knowledge. And it's home of actual total love, because you do nothing but just to receive and be given. You're continuously given information, knowledge, energies from the fields. And this is how I called it the Temple of Love, which is the giving, and we'll see. We're planning to start the systems tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see where we go.
When you asked us to keep our eye on Zoom, does that mean it'll be in the Zoom public meeting?
Yes, we always done that. I don't know if you've been with the foundation long enough. We have had a tradition. Just 1 second, I have to go somewhere and come back.
That's fine.
Mark, I'd like to make a comment on something, another subject, please.
Go right ahead. I'm going to close Mr. Keshe's mic. He's left it open, so I'm going to mute it, Mr. Keshe, so when you come back
That's
in.
okay.
Okay. Alex, go ahead.
Thank you. There have been a lot of questions on the sales side of things, and I just want to let people know that I have tried to send money through my bank, and for some reason the money came back like a boomerang, which I'm kind of glad about, but I lost about 2 weeks on that. So right now, sending money to the foundation, we're either doing it through PayPal or through transfer.
No, I think, sorry to come in, Alex. I think this is something to do with your bank. We receive money from all over the world in different sums. We have one occasion of problems, but yours, I don't know why it came that way. We continuously receive all of our donations for the exhibition and purchasing goods. We never had a problem. I don't know if there is something wrong with your banking transfer.
I don't know either. It's the data was exactly the same as I did previous transfers, so I don't know why this one came back. But
it's something we do not know. We looked at it. We have this with a bank in China. In China, if one word is wrong, it comes back. One letter is wrong, it comes back. But I don't know why. The bank, it's. There are some banks, they say they don't want to do a transfer to Keshe Foundation manufacturing, but on the other hand, even, what do you call it, TransWise, what do you call it?
TransferWise.
TransferWise, they did an internal and international investigation about 2 months ago, and they cleared Keshe Foundation to receive the funds directly from them. And that's why immediately within hours we receive that. All the banks are doing a lot of, what do you call it, a lot of investigation on Keshe Foundations around the world. It just comes primarily in the past few weeks since we launched the enhancement units. It's these Germans and the Belgians who are writing to the banks that we are money laundering and everything else, and they raised the alarm. And even the Belgians, you know, who has done that recently by raising alarms in different places, false alarms. Then we're trying to keep it very quiet. Even our banks in Austria and Holland have informed us that they received a lot of alarms and they're ignoring it because every penny of the Keshe Foundation is answered for. If you do not know, every 2 years around about March, I answer for every single penny that the foundation has used to the lawyers of the AB AMRO and World Bank. Every cent. If one is not answered, they don't open the account. They just lock the account. They don't close it. And for example, 2 years ago, they wouldn't tell me there was one transaction. They wouldn't tell me what it says. There's one transaction you cannot answer. And this goes on for about 2 weeks. And I called the lawyer of the bank. I said, what is this? Well, he says, there is one transaction. I said, at least tell me where. Give me indication of the place, then I know where I send it. They said Nigeria. I said, oh my God. We call him Alex, but you know, Alex has a different name. And when I gave them, I said, this is Alex. He always receives donation. He works for the foundation in Africa. Within half an hour, the account was opened. The Keshe Foundation is on a tight scrutiny, but they haven't found anything, not a cent. Because what I did, I've explained this before. When I set the foundation up, I consulted international lawyers and bankers. And there was one unanimous decision that close all your accounts, release all your business into a position that is not in your control, and open a foundation account and live through it. Whatever you get, whatever you pay, whatever you live, whatever you earn, put through it. And we followed that procedure and it's been very successful. I don't have a second account to transfer money to use. And this way, the World Bank has accepted KF as a special case. So there is no way. There is a lot of push by the Belgians and the Germans to close accounts. They have closed our account, the Belgians, on the false pretenses in Belgium. And some 4 or 5 years ago, they made a fake terrorist and they went to the bank. And we have tens of thousands locked into an account. They're waiting for us to move it, to go to that account and say, this is a terrorist account, close that account. So we left it. There's a huge amount of money sits in the bank in Belgium till the situation is sorted. They're just waiting to move, for us to move the money. And they said, this is a terrorist account, they close our main account. And we are watching it. But primarily, up to this minute, we have no problem. You have to understand, many foundations have been used for money laundering. Many foundations were set up this way by terrorist organizations to do it. But we stay very clear. Every penny, everything, we go to a cafe, there is a receipt. We go buy a pair of shoes, there is a receipt.
I'm not going to make any comments on the Toronto Dominion Bank, but I sent money by PayPal and
he arrived
okay?
immediately. Already arrived, it's in the account.
Okay, so it just hasn't been posted to the account then. Okay.
No, it's already with us. I checked it yesterday, arrived yesterday.
Okay.
So there's PayPal has no problem. We have no problem generally.
Well, I'd
What
like
about
to
the,
add,
sorry, Mark, what about the shipping of the goods that I ordered? Would that, may I?
We received the funds yesterday, so usually it takes, everything now is, nothing will be shipped more or less unless from Austria for next 10 days. Earliest will be in 15 days if anything moves, because from today, China is shut down for the autumn holidays till the 7th. The bank opens on the 8th. And everything is shut down. It's a main national holidays. Even the Keshe Foundation team have already left. None of the Keshe Foundation, our team, or the factories and offices are working as of yesterday. They're back on the 8th. So if it is from European side, you will receive it. If it's from the Chinese supply, you have to wait till they come back on the 8th, 9th, if the first time they open up. We have streamlined a lot of things. Before we had to stay 30 days before order goes out. Now more or less within 10, 15 days, the orders go out. Because you have to understand is there's a lot of cost into transportation. We have to reach like 100 kilo or something in that region to be able to benefit by a certain weight discount, or goes to 1,000 kilo by certain weight discount. So the team in China pack everything ready for reaching a target of the weight and whatever, or the companies don't ship. I walked in office last week and I saw number of Maghreb unit boxes with the stamps and everything back. I said, what's going on? They said, they just, the company give it to the people, they refuse, or then one data is wrong on it, all come back. We have maybe 10 or 15 Maghreb returns in past few weeks. People don't put a correct address or telephone number, and they don't tell us, they just return it. And we had this before when I went to court in Italy. FedEx, the judge said FedEx is holding your stock, is not releasing it. They've been told not to ship your goods, but they charge you, and then they charge you for not delivering to. We paid 17,000 euro for the goods which FedEx refused to deliver, and they charge us for it. They don't even bring the goods back. We had the same thing in Belgium. Hundreds and hundreds of books are kept by the Belgians in the post office not to deliver to discredit. You do not know what we're going through in this world with these people.
and if I could add and give a compliment to TransferWise, I wasn't happy with them in the past when I've made some transfers and things. But the last time I used, and I made a very small donation to the Linz conference, and I used a credit card, very simple. And before I took the next breath, I had gotten a message that said the money is already in the recipient's account. So they did a fantastic job, and they probably saved me $40 if I was going to go to the bank and then have the bank transfer the money to TransferWise.
The position TransferWise did, as I told you, put Keshe Foundation on clearance list 2 months ago. So the minute it comes, the account is clear. It's the same as with AV Ambro. The minute the money comes, they don't ask questions. So is now, they do due diligence, they have to do, and we see it, and you got to understand the foundation is continuously under attack in every angle by what I call German, Belgium, and bunch of pedophiles. But we keep very, very, very tight ship. Everything is done, everything is recorded. All the contracts are double, triple checked. There's a huge structure to create as much problem as they can. And people believe when they receive something, as it was I told you with the exhibition center. They came, they told us we received so much. And we come and see here how people come, you know, delegation comes, people come, and it's a new science. And even they invited us to sign a 1-year contract. It should be signed Monday, Tuesday, hopefully. And it's very unusual because there's nobody else. Nobody is holding exhibition. At the moment, holding exhibition is curse. But we do, and Jalal can tell you, 10, 15 people, 20 people, they all have no problem being, because they're all knowledge seekers. There's a trust, there is some sort of a belief. We had 22 of them in one group. Oh, on Friday, I think. And then they come in small groups, 5, 6. We have, what's her name? The Italian gang on Tuesday, I think. We have international groups. They come for bulk purchase, bulk talk with the lawyers. Nowadays, we now getting groups coming in with the lawyers to finalize things. Because you understand €1 million investment is huge. When you buy 3 of them, it's bigger. And some companies are committing themselves to 10, 15, 20 units over 2 or 3 years. Everything is done through lawyers and everything has to be correct. On Thursday, maybe, or the following Thursday, we make a very dramatic, not dramatic, a very profound announcement to the knowledge seekers and people around the world. We literally, whatever we produce in material will be sold out. It's already pre-sold. This exhibition has been one of the most successful exhibitions, most probably in the history of Austria. We don't talk, we don't do anything not to raise, but and now we introduce a new way to encourage the spread of the systems around the world by Keshe Foundation. You have to understand there is a Keshe Foundation and then there is a Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Austria. Keshe Foundation is subsidizing in a massive amount Keshe Foundation Austria to literally put every single machine out around the world. We are backing it. It's a 2 different entities. And the machinery belongs to the Keshe Foundation Austria. And most probably, I wanted to make the announcement on Tuesday, but the head of the Keshe Foundation wants to make sure everything is correct. Maybe this Thursday or the following Thursday, we'll make a huge, huge announcement. We won't have a single machine waiting. We'll be sold maybe for 12 months or 2 years. But we reach people. We go exactly where we wanted to be. We have already done 3 pilots and it works, so we're going for international structure of it. €1 million per machine is very heavy for some countries. Yes, it's no problem. To keep it in the hand of people, it's a big problem. So we have come up with a solution. It means again, I have to put private finance into the back of the Keshe Foundation. It's another huge investment by the foundation into manufacturing. But this time we don't have anybody to go in the back and destroy it.
Mr. Keshe. Thank you for being here. You alluded to the fact that among other language communities, the American language community team was stagnating. Would you give us some suggestions how to unclog this stagnation? Everyone.
I think the stagnation of the whole Keshe Foundation around the world will start this week. If we show drastic results live on Zoom and YouTube, you'll find out people will come on board. This has been a dream of people to see such a technology. And we have another 3-4 hours of work to complete part of it, because we continuously, you see the machines are there, but Jalal can tell you, suddenly curtains goes around it, nobody can look in, and they start changing things. And the curtain is around for maybe an hour, 2 hours, because we think we've got to improve it. As I told you, this is a live structured testing exhibition. And then we think we should be ready by tomorrow lunch. We wanted to do it on Friday. We just made the decision the last minute to change something slightly. Now we're going to do it on Monday. I've been told by 2 o'clock we should be round about to go. And then, as has been tradition, we leave live cameras, and we set it up now every second to take a picture. And we'll see. Plus, you have a wide camera covering both that you can see everything. We sequentially start rolling. It's a very specific way to ignite the system. I know it by heart, but you cannot make a mistake. And the structure, the integrity of the structure of the plasma, not only inside the machine, inside the building, plus cosmic rays have to be considered, because we can pull a huge amount of energy from a space into the system. The reactor can behave as what I call a principal point and pull massive amount of energy inwards. So it's not just to turn it on and do it, and the loading of these has been done drop by drop. It's taken us hours and hours in a locked, what you call, lab with 2 people to just to make the combination. Once we make the combination, we hand it over to be loaded. And then the loading takes another hours and hours of loading. It's not what you think is just one thing I'm putting, no way. We start planning to load these reactors last September. We start making ganses for it last September, October. There are ganses which we never discuss in public. You never see it. That's why I said nobody will ever be able to replicate this. Some ganses take 6 weeks, 8 weeks to produce. And some ganses, for a small amount of it, we pay hundreds of dollars just to produce a small amount. Investment is huge. You just come and have a look at the system and you just see no way, no one ever can replicate these reactors. And everything is locked in secret coded systems, cross-coded, and it's all been sealed and locked. We use systems that no one ever knows what we do.
Mr. Keshe, when you brought out the UBEs in October, you made a reference to them that they were kind of like the Model T version. And I was wondering how much of an advancement has come since October? Are we up to
Ooh, we are advanced in design. There is 1,000 improvement plus, and you have to understand we could not move people around because of this Corona business. So a lot of things is done on by trust, and they cannot move things. We literally flown people by private jets to be in positions. People don't understand what we go under to make sure things done. When, as you know by now, we got locked on in Malta, and they wouldn't let us leave. The first chance we could get out was 22nd of June, from more or less February. We got locked down. We couldn't get flight out. We couldn't flight in. In February, March, they locked us down. And on the 15th of June, the Maltese government opened the airport, but they wouldn't let. There were no planes on the runway. We flew through 3 airports, and we were the only plane in all 3 airports. There was not even on the runway, not on the hangars, nowhere. And when we arrived in Austria, people who were with me, they can tell you, as we landed, police and military helicopters were just with us. Once we entered the territory of Austria, they landed behind us. And everybody is too tied up. And we came in and stuck with it. June, July, August, day and night, Saturday, Sunday, the team worked. And the beauty of it is a lot of things which I said before design, this is going to be happening. When they actually designed it, they saw it is happening. And they said, how did you know? I said, I told you shouldn't do these things. These are obsolete. The present computers are obsolete. Absolutely obsolete. And so they had to restart redesigning, restructuring. And this is the way the new technology is. And now I'm sure we're going to get new problems, because in mid-November, we start shipping out of China. That's our target now. By the time they come back, 45 days they have, back end of November, we should ship. And then it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks anywhere around the world. Arizona gets the first shipments, and then the Swiss, Austrian gets the next, Germans get the next, the Chinese get theirs, the Canadians haven't found a home yet. And then we have to ship into Brazil. And this is not an easy job. And then we go into a large number every month. We already extended the factory in China. Huge. 2 of our factories, one of our own and one of our partner manufacturer, has been extended just to meet the demand of the enhancement unit. It's a huge operation. People don't see this operation is not a joke. And we haven't even started now. Next month, we have to train technicians to move to countries or in the countries how to assemble. Because the assembly is on that site. It's a plug and play. It's not easy. And then in December, we have to start teaching the doctors and the technicians how to handle these machines, because nobody has ever handled these kind of machines. And it's a long work. It's a long work. And Klaus, I think he hasn't seen bed properly for weeks. And the same. Everything we think needs to update gets updated. But even I'm sure once we start ignition, we'll have the same problem. It's the nature of research and development, and you develop while you're researching, and while even you're manufacturing, you develop. And you're playing with the unknown, totally unknown. It's a lot of knowledge has to become and all fixed into. And you have a gorgeous guy like Klaus and his team, they don't stop. They just work to get it done. And the minute there is something new we have to consider, starts again. It's not easy. But now it's ready to test, and we never had a problem in being open about it. If what we see, if we learn from it and develop the next steps, I know roughly what's going to happen. I know 80% of the way what we're going to see. We bring in our flux detectors, which we use for 229 Tesla tomorrow in operation. We bring in other equipment in, we put physical matters testing in position, we put lights in, we look for any indication to be able to monitor to device. All the measurement tools come in. We spend a fortune on this, now we have to see it. We have detectors which measures the flux in plasma level. The one we use for 129. They have to come in tomorrow. There's other sensors come in. And we'll see. I have to send a message. Just 1 second, please. Just whose phone is open? Somebody's microphone is open. It's a lot of work, and you might see magic tomorrow. But it takes time. Sometimes, as I said in testing Iran, the minute I put a reactor, I was going to go and just watch it. It was already following me. So we see what and how it comes. We know expectation. A lot of teaching of lift and motion and field has already been taught in early teachings. The first 50, 100 teachings, if you go, because that time we were testing for flight in the Sensano. We were testing for field motion. And I don't know if you remember the system which used to go up and down by transformation, which was hanging from the frame. We have what do you call, a special gadget which measures and allows the fields to be tested when the weight reduces or increases. But we can't do it with these machines, they weigh tons. But we'll see. One of the things is they're going to be like markers, flags on the floor. that we see if the machine moves, which way it moves, why it moves, if it shakes. We watch what we call people who are in the area, how they react into the fields. These are natural fields, so we can see it very easily. Oh, there's a stranger here. No, I thought he was here. Yes, he's here. Klaus is here. If you want to ask any question, the man himself is here.
Hi, Mr. Keshe. Who is the man himself? Never heard this.
Klaus is here. If we don't give you any secret, but if you want to ask any questions, he knows every centimeter of this system.
Hello, Klaus. This is Alex from Canada.
Klaus, don't tell him much. He's very thingy. Just be careful.
I know.
Well, Mr.
Alex.
Keshe says, good day, sir. Mr. Keshe says you don't get much sleep. I was wondering, are you using a Gantz pillow on the table when you sleep there?
We don't sleep there. Nobody sleeps in the office. We all live nearby, so it's easy to go home. One person claimed sleeping there.
The security guard, probably. Is the Gantz pillow helping you catch up in the evening?
We don't use them, do you?
We
We don't use our own products.
Oh, welcome here. Mark, I see Lee has her hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Hello, thank you everybody. This is Lee from Western Australia. I'm quite desperate for an answer to this question, please. When making and using Ganzes, what precautions need to be taken if one has prosthetics, implants or replacement body parts, please?
Don't use it. Don't use, especially if you have hip replacement, shoulder replacement. Do not use it. Ganzes are not made for you. Because the reason I tell you why it's not made for you. They inherently, some of the Ganzes encourages the growth of the bone, and then they try to push the what you call implants out as they are taking the shape themselves. If you have any plate fusing on the back, if you have, the pins are no problem, dental tooth things are no problem. But if you have fusing plates on your spine, no go. If you have a hip replacement, no go. Knee transplant, no go. Shoulder replacement, no go. If you have parts which part of the bone is cut and is replaced, this is not right. Don't go anywhere near Ganzes because the bone grows and then it causes more problem. And especially if people don't know what Ganzes to use, then the problem is bigger. It's not negative, it's positive. But then the pieces they put in your body does not fit because the bone grows. And then when it grows, it crushes other parts out. So that's why we say do not use. Ganzes are not for people with implants. Even the pacemakers, the ear pacemakers, the Parkinson injection material, electronics in the back. anything you need, cannot do. I have a very good news for you. We announce it later on, maybe on Thursday as well. The Iran leading university, medical university, who has done tests on ganses, announced today that the ganses are extremely effective. They're just waiting. We're trying to see if they allow us, or they tell us they're just waiting to see if there is any side effects. So ganses have passed the test. They called us today to tell us, but we can't do anything till they give us a license. Up to now, they've been holding back. The trouble is here, guys. Stephanie arrived.
God help us.
God help the Queen. Hi, Stephanie. She's with us on Tuesday.
She's beautiful.
And the British start making their way in. We had a daughter and some father and daughter in. We have one more in, which is spies on us, reports everything out. We call him MI5. And Stephanie is coming from England, I think, with somebody else.
Excuse me, Mr. Keshe.
Yes.
Is the exhibition in Austria a way of a confirmation that the Austrian government accepted the report from the Keshe Foundation from Iran?
No. Is our audacity going for it and getting it? I said to, as before, our plan initially was to get a shop up front, get some sort of whatever, and then actually we were for my birthday on a dinner table, I think, if I remember correctly. Before that, we were talking about the exhibition, and we all walked from the restaurant to the exhibition center, Klaus showing us. It's about 10 or 15 minutes. And it was a decision there that we can get it done. And we went for it. And it took a month to get it sorted, to get it where it is. Because all the exhibition centers are closed around the world. Nobody runs exhibition. And we're lucky, and then we've been there a month. Actually, tomorrow is exactly a month we've been there, roughly 4 weeks. And it suited us, and now we're entering a year contract. I think we'll be there permanently. And I was with them on Friday. I said I want a bigger hall. I think it's quite a few thousand square meters, and there is a smaller hall, again, a couple of thousand square meters. And I said to them, I want it for the flying car, because we're going to show the flying car very soon, next short time. And I said to them, I want it for 2 months. Nobody's here, so we have a position that we can show a flying car. We got an 8-meter, 10-meter high roof, ceiling, I should say. And we have the technology, so most probably this time we don't need to have a flying license, as the Belgium said, and ground it. So it's one of the things we will use to show the flying systems, flying vehicles. They have nobody for these auditoriums. At least we can use it in a good way. Nobody is holding exhibition. They're all canceling, so we see. Most probably they give us the whole exhibition center for years to come, if we can show enough magic. But tomorrow when we start, we try to see what the position is, and if we start seeing what we expect, any results, we switch on into the Zoom and YouTube for everybody to watch.
Mr. Keshe, Randy is conducting an international internet radio show, and he'd like to ask you a question and request your presence.
Who?
Someone named Randy.
Where?
I think he just left the Philippines and has landed back in Canada in the last 2 months, and he conducts a...
Hello.
Hello. Yes, Mr. Keshe. I host a radio show once a month.
Yeah.
And we do interviews. I've already interviewed Nikolai from Vancouver as a Keshe knowledge seeker. And we were heard in 110 countries on that evening. So anytime, if you're welcome to come on our show at any time, and you're on live radio to answer any questions. And it's every third Thursday of the month. So I know you have a very busy schedule. So
But when is the third Thursday of the month?
every third Thursday around 7, I gotta get the exact time.
7
And-
what? Central European time or Canadian?
Just a second here. Let me get the exact time.
It could be past his bedtime.
I think it's going to be 1 in the morning for you, Mr. Keshe.
Coffee will do.
Coffee will do. Just
Yep.
1 sec here.
You will hear him snoring.
Oh, I fall asleep. I work long enough. I have no problem. The problem with our work is not sitting behind a desk. The problem with our work is brain burning out.
I saw that alive, Mr. Keshe. I saw that alive.
What do you mean?
How much you work?
I sit, I don't do anything.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I saw not much hair.
That has a different reason.
Okay.
What's the date and time?
Randy?
Thursdays, just a second. I'm trying to get the time zone.
Should be Thursday the 14th, the third Thursday. because
PT. I guess PT is Pacific time.
No, we need CET,
Okay.
Central European time.
Okay.
7
9
o'clock, which
hours.
country? 7 o'clock, which country? Which city?
Okay. It's done. Things we host out of California.
California. So you're 9 hours difference with us. 7 in the evening is 5 in the morning.
Yep. They call it PT. Well, I guess it's Pacific time.
Yeah, if it is Pacific time plus 9,
So 7 p.m. Pacific time.
7 p.m. we go forward 9 hours, 5 and 4. Yes, 4 o'clock in the morning. This is what the times we used to do with Rick when we started.
I think Mr. Keshe is 10 o'clock in the morning, CET. Hello. Because it's 19-hour in California. We take 9, so it's 10.
I'm going to go global. Just 1 second. I have it.
9 hours.
Los Angeles now is 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
It is
121.
4 a.m.
1:21.
It is
We are
4 a.m.
20. Yeah, we are 22:21. We are 9 hours ahead of you. I'm correct. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 a.m. CET.
Yeah. Central European time.
So we have a date?
I
Is
wouldn't,
is Thursday the 14th, the third? Because the first Thursday is the first this time.
right, so October the 14th.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll schedule that.
no problem. Somebody keep an eye on it. Remind me an hour before the interview or the day before.
Yes,
Randy, Thursday is the 15th.
yeah, here's the 15th. So how does the best way to remind you, Mr. Keshe, of the timing to contact you? Because we will need a phone number to call. Because well, the radio show,
We, if you do it through Zoom or through,
no, we do it through Skype. And the radio show just, yeah,
Skype
the
is
radio,
old fashioned.
yeah, but the radio show will call you on a cell phone or a landline.
We give you the number. It's no problem.
Okay.
You can check it out.
I'm on Zoom. You can give that to Alex, whatever, and then he can forward that to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
Okay,
and
thank you very much.
Randy's on the Canadian Corona team as well, Mr. Keshe, on Telegram.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and Alex, I'm heading into my chiropractor's office this week with some GANs, and we're going to do our office.
No problem, because we're there. 14th. Something is happening around that time. I can't remember. I remember something around about 10, 12. Doesn't matter. Well, because Thursday we are teaching in the morning of.
Right.
And at night is the, somebody will remind me in the teaching tonight, don't forget 10 o'clock.
I'll be there.
We'll be back on, what do you call, Thursday, 9 o'clock in the morning from now on. It was just one off. We moved it for a reason. The reason didn't happen, so we had to go back up. We could have actually carried it out, but it didn't happen. Any questions or anything else?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
You're welcome. It's 10 o'clock. Just be alert once we go out as usual. You get a notification and we'll sit and watch. But the thing is, we have to abandon the office, Linz Exhibition Center at 5 o'clock in the evening every day. So we need bunch of vigilantes to watch what's happening, or we put it on that people can make comment on it, and somebody copies all the comments. So once we switch it on, we try not to switch it off because the plasma has to build up. And if you see the thing start flying, just shout and wake everybody up till we get up and see what we can do. This happened before, so it's not a stranger if it happens this time. Once we start going, we leave it on, and number of knowledge seekers need to be visual. What happens? This happened to me in what do you call it? In China. I watched the reactor running out of control, and what do you call it? I watched the system going out of the window, the plasma, at 1:01, 22nd of July, and I called the minister online. I said, I've lost my system. Be discharged, I don't know. And the team were sleeping right on top of it. And I thought, I hope we haven't lost anyone, because it literally blanked out the cameras. And I always remember the minister said, Chinese government accepts all damages. You're doing it for our nation. We accept everything. Don't worry if anything happens. I called them, I think about 10 o'clock before we are going on the test phase on a flight. and we could hear the system talking to each other. In 101, we lost. Because it was a thunder, it discharged into the cloud, massive amount of it. But it couldn't take, because it was an earth plasmatic, or that's atmospheric plasma. It just got and loaded the central grid, and we damaged a lot. And the minister said, Mr. Keshe, we accept all charges, no problem. Just watch if any of you stays online. You keep a good look, see what it is. But a lot of people come and have a look. I think we used the Skype last time or Zoom. People were writing, it's gone up by 1, it's gone up by 2, it's gone up by 0.1.
Mr. Keshe, can I ask
Yes.
a question? Yvonne, do you
Yes,
have to
sure.
keep a specific eye on the weather before doing tests?
No. If we don't create a weather, I don't think we need to keep an eye on the weather.
Okay.
We try to watch for something very much in these kind of lines that we see the fields, and we have to monitor how the fields come in, how they interact. We need at least about 5 or 10 radios around in the distance cover. We're going to get them tomorrow, that we can put the radios shut. We know the boys growing up. We should be able to hear 5 channels at the same time.
Thank you.
Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I missed when, because I read the text, I think you were asking me if I'm coming tomorrow. Yeah.
I know you're coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I will be traveling tomorrow and be there, arriving tomorrow evening, then be there, be all day on Tuesday.
We don't have much time for you. Tuesday we open up 10 o'clock, and
Yeah.
Tuesday we have visitors, and you organize that interview with the guy at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we have other
Yeah.
people in there coming, so we'll see.
Yes, you have that interview at 3. Yeah, I'm flexible.
You can't be flexible. If you fix it, it's got to be there. We'll see.
I will be there. I will be there on Tuesday, but I'm flexible in the sense that I know you're gonna be busy, so I would definitely.
We come in on Tuesday around about 1 o'clock.
Okay,
We're gonna
perfect.
be there before that time, but we'll see.
Yes, and 3 o'clock. Yeah, you will have an interview with Sasha. This is good, and then I will go away on the following day.
Thanks God, it's gonna be peace and quiet.
Yeah, that's why I fought for you for your benefit, and me too. I'll prepare you more interviews. But
No problem.
I'll let you know more details. Okay, looking forward. Actually, I'm looking forward.
Don't bring your corona for us. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
We're gonna spread you. Don't shake hands with no one. Don't hug no one. Don't go close to no one. Just
I will
say
keep it for
hello.
myself.
Yeah. We put a circle around you as you walk, goes beep, beep.
Yeah, we'll not share. There will
See
be
you.
selfish.
See you.
Mr. Keshe,
Yeah.
one child went, one child come.
Yeah, sorry to miss you, Jalal. I'm
Me
really
too.
sorry to miss you.
Thanks
Many
God.
people.
Thanks, Mr. Keshe said, thanks God. If I
It's a cycle we got to go through. You know, in olden days, they used to do circus showing things new. We are back on it, but this time it's one place. This exhibition, most probably for a short time, the talk is going on, we'll see within the next few days, will be moved in total by Iranian Air Force into Tehran and returned back to Linz after 2 weeks. Most probably, if it goes through, the whole structure of the exhibition will be lifted by Iranian Air Force into Tehran for exhibition in Tehran, Sharif Tehran University, and we return. So we could be missing it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we return back to its position.
Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you about the enhancement unit that produces material.
Yeah.
Does the condition that's created within it use what's already available in the atmosphere of this planet,
No.
or does it create a condition where it brings it into that point?
It's a combination of. It's a combination of. There are a lot of hidden things in this structure. We don't disclose it, but as I said to knowledge seekers, we expect is said to see very rare earth materials and materials we don't see ever on Earth. I set it up. It's part of introducing universal community, universal materials. We expect, even as energy, which we see, to be within the system. Because in the system, you don't need the iron to absorb by your body. You need the energy of the iron to be available if your body needs. So I set the system that way. I was in it once, and I said to, I think, class or somebody else, I feel in this corner the energy of copper. I have a very good sense for materials and energies, and you could feel it. So we don't expect to always produce material tangible. The system is set to produce fields of materials that this energy can be absorbed by the body, as I taught last week and the week before. So we don't expect to produce and say this is a copper and this is gold or whatever. We put you in the machine. If you've got a lack of calcium, we put you in the machine, we set it up, and then you get fixed. It's a curve, it's a learning curve for all of us.
In the future, if these devices are spread out throughout this planet, will that create a different condition for the Earth as it's a focal point?
We hope so. We hope so. In the future technology, it is not because humans don't understand it, but it's something very commonly used, like meteorites you have, or asteroid. We have a galaxy of these, and they're as damaging as anything. The meteorites and asteroids are built within the structure of the body of this solar system. Galaxies have their own meteorites. Galaxies have their own structural fields which move like a body. And systems to barricade or move them are available. It's been developed. So for example, nowadays they call you, if you get asteroids coming towards Earth, what happened with the dinosaurs or whatever. Now we can change course in a very different way to convert them into energy. And if they're energy, to pass them through or convert them to energy and pass them through. We'll see. As somebody said, the teaching is complete. The teaching has not even started. If you listen to what, at the beginning of this teaching today, I heard you brought 20 minutes of the Thursday teaching. If you would have understood 1 minute of it, you would have understood it's taken millions of years to bring that change in, to understand it, to bring it in, and it makes so easy. Mankind has received this knowledge so cheap, that's why they have no respect for it. And they see it this way. If we would have made a lot of problems with it, people respecting it, they would have listened to everything of it. This is what I always say, the difference between what you pay for and what comes free.
I wonder if you might comment on NASA's desire to put a woman on the moon this time.
Does it make any difference? Man or a woman?
Hello. Mr. Keshe, everybody, hello, everybody. Good night. I just, first thank you for the gift of cups. I start to feel the results. It was time to show to my family the results. And thank you. I think enhancement unit should be something like that. And the second thing, that even though I'm UCS, I couldn't get into the meetings, Zoom, with some difficulty. It asked me to change the account, so I couldn't get in. So I couldn't get the
What can we do for you
invitation.
now? Tell me, what's the subject now? Message.
The subject is, I want to invite the ambassador and consulate in here, and they just said I have to contact UC Council for getting the letters. So the question is there any special date if they accept that?
You see, at the moment, no ambassadors accept to come to the exhibition. At the moment, no diplomats moves, especially because we are out of the center. We are not, if we were in Vienna, we would have had a different proposition. And because of the corona, ambassadors are very touchy not to go anywhere.
Yes.
So we still invite them. They might come in by Zoom, but they're very, very touchy. As you know, Austria now has gone under 3 zones of Austria now has been what I call blacklisted by Germany because of the high numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it is, what do you call it? Very, very unusual for a lot of people to move.
Well, I try.
Yes, you can try. It's once we start showing result tests, especially in the exhibition center, the governments will come by themselves. It had to be the right time. It had to be, everything had to be correct. And always said, we have to go through the phase we are going. There's not much we can do. We have to go through the structure as we do.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, because it has to be done. And we start seeing after 4 weeks of exhibition, now some channels have started in last week announcing it, and they call it what do you call it? Bedmed, something. They made a name for it. Bedmed, yeah, medical beds, med beds, and this is another med bed, and it's totally different thing. But we have to go the way we are going. This technology has to come out independent of any nation and organization. And it has to come out through the knowledge seekers. It has to come out through the structure of the Keshe Foundation worldwide.
Okay, thank you.
We still invite people to come, but as we were talking with classes, says every day 7:30 till 8, there's a plane going over the Linz area for traffic, and if they see a light coming, they might come and have a look, and invite the others to come and have a look. But I hope we don't go through the ceiling and create damages. We need a full insurance tomorrow before we start. And it's part of the work that I always said I will not show any magic. And this is not a magic. This is how the system will go. We set up a lot of parameters tomorrow, and we lock down. Nobody will be in. We don't allow anybody in once we start opening the system. By Tuesday morning, if we are satisfied, we allow visitors in, or we shut down, and then we start again. We have to go through a process of 2 or 3 days saturation. We've got to see if the system saturates itself. There's a lot of parameters. There's a lot of parameters, especially if we are in public domain. We continuously monitor, but there is no harm with this because these are natural fields.
Thank you. Another question, the cup of the soul, which is number 1 up, how can I put it in inhaler?
Well, you want to increase your what? Don't use the cups the way we done unless you know what you're doing.
Just
the last person tried to use it, had to confess to a lot of rubbish.
Okay, no, just 1 or 2 drops in water to inhale because of the asthma, things like that. Psychology, psychosomatic.
Don't know. Try.
So no, I don't.
I think you got to take it from the cup of soul number 2 than actually number 1.
Yeah, I've done this. Okay, so I let the first one. Yeah. Very much.
Well,
very nice.
You're welcome. You cannot just do one. You have to understand the combination of the things you have to do. This is, people don't there is a reason why when I get involved in medical or health or anything, we see a success and they say why the others can't do or it's not different. It's different because you just take one on your head and say it doesn't work because it has many other factors.
Exactly.
So you have to consider everything before you do.
Well, I didn't expect that result, honestly, when I made it little by little. It took me a long time to make it little by little. But now what I see means that I did it with my heart and with my my esperance, with my the expectations for future, for what I desire. I just did it with that. And it's so, at first I thought I make a picture, I put on the chat, but I thought it's so personal. And if it's nice, I put it. Somebody who has not done it might not like it. So I've kept it for myself because it's part of me. And I go on to see more results and to share it with others around me. Can I make one with somebody close to me? Can I make one set for another
Yes,
person?
but you have to let them sort it out, not you. Otherwise it'll become mass produced.
Right.
The Chinese already created a 5-cup. They just provide the cup and the wires, then you have to set it up and put the salt in it, that it becomes to you. At the moment, the Chinese, with China, we haven't put it in the main shop yet. But in China, 5 cups have been developed. So you can buy 5 cups together. We'll put it on most probably next couple of weeks after the Chinese holidays.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
But I wish you happy. I wish you, Mr. Klaus, and everybody in the team a happy, enjoyable time.
Thank you very much. This interesting thing is now and you notice, we have people who we have made this set that you can go actually inside it. And since they start using this set, people go inside it, the full set has started producing totally different materials. So the fields are getting mixed up and muddled up. Anyway, thank you very much. If I stay here, we're going to be here all night. And you already know you're just about to come to your 4 hours.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. If there is no question to ask to answer quick, I disappear that you can do your closing, or if you're going to carry on.
Mr. Keshe, this is Ed from Indiana. I have a quick question that's just been wanting to ask, but I didn't. It's kind of a little while ago, you said you were setting up equipment to measure things, and you mentioned the word flux. And you were going to measure the flux. What is that?
Flux is a flow of fields. We call it magnetic flux. It's a density of fields, how dense, how strong they are.
Is it a transition? Is it in any way related to the transition of the fields into a matter state?
No, it's just a movement. It's where it moves, and we measure the move of it. That's
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. I'll disappear that you can carry on. And keep your eyes on your Zooms and your YouTubes. You never know what might pop out.
Thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
I want to thank everybody in attendance here for taking the time to be here and contributing in every way that you have. It's been most edifying. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to you, Mark, and we're looking forward to a bright future. Thanks so much.